Hi there. Okay, we're at video number 69 overall, but this will be video number 31 of module 3. Okay, let's go over to the trading station. Now this might look a little bit similar to another setup that we had previously, and if you're thinking that, you're right. We have the accelerator oscillator as well in one of our videos, and we was using it in conjunction as well with the other with the iMACD, and you can see that the awesome oscillator doesn't really show a lot of like mounds above and mounds below all the time, in a very sporadic fashion. The awesome oscillator does tend to have better properties in regards to letting you know when to get out of a trade compared to the accelerator oscillator. Okay, normally when you see like here, okay, see where it's gone from zero into positive territory, it took quite a while before it came back down into lower territory. Alright, so here is the beginning of the uptrend, and this here is the end of the uptrend to say, okay, time to close out your trade. Alright, here is it tells you to go short, and then there it tells you to close your shorts, and so on and so on and so on. But we've known that from previous videos that using just that single strategy on its own is not always going to be beneficial. Alright, same likewise with the accelerator oscillator. Alright, so what we can do is we can use similar areas that we use for the accelerator oscillator in with the awesome oscillator there instead of the accelerator oscillator. Alright, so what we could look at is essentially where these crossovers appear. Alright, and you want them to line up basically where these areas cross. So for a short trade you would want to have this point and this point line up, but they don't. Then this point and this point you want them to line up, but they don't. This one does. I think it's kind of like within one bar, which is the the forgiving rate, because you can't always line up. So yeah, so there, I mean, this would probably work out a little bit better for those people that don't really want to see all this sporadic nature with the accelerator oscillator and prefer to use the awesome oscillator instead. Alright, here is an area where it breaks and crosses. Give it a, well, we can take this off now, but you can see where it crosses shortly afterwards, so we could have been a little bit lenient and within that one bar. That's completely up to you. Let me see if we can find some other areas where this may have continued to keep going up. So they're very few around, and we may have to go down to a smaller time frame to see if it's more suitable on smaller time frames. But here's an area right here, and it's right at the beginning of this histogram, so that's good. It crosses, so you can go short there. I mean, here's another crossover, but it doesn't cross right at that point, so you don't really want to go short there, even though it does come down. But however, the AC oscillator says it's okay, so you could have taken that indication to go short as well. Alright, here is another area, but you can see that the AO indicator here, the awesome oscillator, didn't give us that signal to go short, but the accelerator oscillator did. Alright, so it's a basically this strategy will be down really to your preference, whether you'd rather use this template here, or whether you'd rather use this template number 27. Alright, so play around with that, see how you get on with it. Really, I mean, there's not really much to the strategy. Okay, but I'll give you just one quick more going over so you can understand before I put this video down. When you see that this crosses below the vertical scale, you want to make sure that the iMACD is also crossing in a downwards fashion as well. When you want it to be in an upwards fashion, in a buy trade, you want it to see it cross, and then you also want to see the AO accelerator oscillator, the awesome oscillator, you want to actually make sure that this is actually above the 0 level and within as many bars as possible. You want it to be right at the beginning. Alright, so this one, oops, I need to take that one out. This one right here, where it actually crosses, so that would be fine. We've got another one over here by the looks of it, but it doesn't actually line up with the AO indicator, so you might want to miss that, and you might want to go ahead and use the other template instead. Alright, and here's another crossover. That one says to go short as well on the other indicator, but this one that we're working on doesn't really tell us. So the one that we're working on here, I mean, I can get rid of this indicator right there, but the awesome oscillator, although the signals don't come in all the time, but they're kind of like low-key kind of entries. You know, it waits a while for the market to sort itself out, and you know, and eventually you will see those signals line up. Alright, again, they're all mechanical. There's no emotional trading behind it whatsoever. Alright, so give that a try and see how you get on. Alright, so until the next video, bye for now.